Denise, your son is the great Matty Healy.
He
Yes. On that topic, Miss Swift wrote a whole album about their relationship, Tortured Poets Department. What was your reaction to that album?
Obviously, on pain of death, can I talk about that episode? But not being her mother-in-law is a role that I'm glad that I...
It was a relationship that ignited headlines, fan theories, and music charts. But now, Matty Healy's mother is finally breaking her silence. And what she said on live television might just leave Swifties stunned. Denise Welch, the beloved English actress and TV personality, appeared on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and gave viewers more than they bargained for when asked about her son's former flame. None other than global superstar Taylor Swift. The tension in the room was palpable. Andy Cohen, known for digging just deep enough to get something juicy without outright causing chaos,
I'm glad that I lost. Not that I have anything against her at all.
Okay.
It was just, it was tricky, but listen, you're not allowed to say anything, and then she writes a whole album, about it. But Matty has taken it all in completely good grace. He's very happy with his amazing fiancée, Gabriette, who is gorgeous. And so we've moved on.
There you go.
Taylor's latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, a record already shrouded in speculation. Fans believe the album is laced with veiled references to Matty Healy, the enigmatic frontman of the 1975 and the woman who once watched their whirlwind romance unfold from the front row of reality. His mother was now on the record. When Cohen name-dropped tracks like Guilty as Sin, Fresh Out the Slammer, I Can Fix Him, No, Really, I Can. And the heartbreak-laced Lamel, Denise's expression, gave everything away before she even opened her mouth. What came next was a moment that instantly went viral. With a playful smirk and a knowing glint in her eye, Denise leaned forward and said, "Obviously, on pain of death, can I talk about that episode? But being her mother-in-law is a role that I am glad that I lost." The studio audience gasped. Cohen's eyebrows shot up, and just like that, the internet had another moment to dissect. Was it shade? A subtle jab cloaked in British politeness? Or was Denise simply letting the world know that the relationship had come with more complications than the public ever saw? She quickly backtracked, or tried to. "Not that I have anything against her at all," she insisted, hands raised in mock surrender. It was tricky. But in that one word, tricky, lay a whole world of mystery. What really went on behind the scenes of Taylor Swift and Matty Healy's brief yet explosive romance, fans have long speculated that Taylor and Matty's relationship was more intense than either party let on. After all, it came hot on the heels of her breakup with Joe Alwyn, a 6-year relationship many believed would end in marriage. But then, out of nowhere, there was Matty, the brooding rock star with a messy charm, controversial takes, and a history of pushing boundaries both musically and socially. And Taylor, ever the lyrical alchemist, seemed to dive headfirst into it. Their fling burned fast and bright, leaving behind only fragments of paparazzi snapshots, blurry fan-captured videos, and now, possibly, an entire album of emotional residue. And Denise, watching it all from a mother's perspective, wasn't just an observer. She was pulled into the whirlwind, her son's name suddenly in every headline, her family's life dissected by tabloids, and her own silence becoming a protective wall. "You're not allowed to say anything," she said with a slightly bitter chuckle, and then she writes a whole album about it. That single sentence struck a chord. Many viewers interpreted it as an admission that while she respected Taylor's artistry, there's a certain power imbalance when someone like Swift immortalizes personal relationships in chart-topping songs, especially when the other party isn't allowed to share their side. But despite the public scrutiny and emotional weight, Denise spoke with grace about Matty's response. "Matty has taken it all in completely good grace," she said proudly. "No bitterness, no drama. Just a quiet acceptance that comes with growing up in the spotlight and knowing that sometimes the world writes its own narrative, whether you agree with it or not." And for those wondering how Matty's doing now, Denise didn't leave fans in suspense. "He's very happy with his amazing fiancée Gabriella Bechtel, who is gorgeous," she gushed, her face lighting up. A model and creative force in her own right, has been quietly dating Matty for months. Their relationship, though far more private than his past entanglements, seems to be built on something steadier, calmer, and perhaps most importantly, out of the press. So we've moved on, Denise concluded, sealing the saga with a smile that said, more than words ever could. But have we moved on? For fans still clinging to the idea of what Taylor and Matty could have been, this interview reopened wounds and raised more questions than answers. What really happened during those few months they were together? Were the songs on the Tortured Poets department a genuine reflection of heartbreak, or just artful storytelling? And how did Matty feel hearing himself dissected on tracks with lyrics that millions now sing? Let's rewind. Matty and Taylor first crossed paths back in 2014. Whispers of a connection circulated. But it wasn't until 2023, nearly a decade later, that sparks visibly flew. The world watched in real time as the two stars shared stages, exchanged glances, and seemed inseparable. It was a departure from Taylor's usual pattern. Matty was raw, unpredictable, and, to some, polarizing. But Taylor has never been one to follow expectations. Their chemistry was undeniable, even if short. After just a few months, the relationship ended as quickly as it began, leaving behind a trail of speculation, heartbreak rumors, and yes, lyrics. Now, as Taylor moves forward with NFL superstar Travis Kelce, her love life has taken a more grounded turn. The glamour of Hollywood replaced by Kansas City Chiefs jerseys and stadium kisses. Fans are seeing a new chapter unfold, one that feels less tortured and more fairy tale. But even as the world watches her current love story play out, the echoes of the past remain. In songs, in interviews, and in moments like Denise Welch's unexpected revelation. Or was it a carefully worded confession that not everything about her son's relationship with the world's biggest pop star was as glossy as it seemed? In a world where celebrities speak in riddles and truths are sung instead of said, we may never know the full story. But one thing's clear, the drama between Taylor Swift and Matty Healy didn't end with the breakup, it simply changed format. From whispered secrets to lyrical clues, from studio recordings to TV talk shows, the story lives on.